it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. This is the first video for 2024. As you can see, my Christmas trees are still up. Part of the reason, or at least part of the reason I'm going to give you, other than the fact that I am a little bit lazy, is that the indoor kitty that the kitty that we brought indoors back in November, she was an outdoor cat originally, absolutely loves the Christmas trees, especially the one in my living room. She's even currently sleeping under that tree. That's her favorite spot in the whole house. She is so adorable. She likes to have her little toys under there. So cute. And she has become a little bit more sociable. Well, she likes men, which doesn't really help me. I mean, I'm the one that feeds her and gives her water most of the time, so you would think that would matter. But anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be decorating 3 winter tiered trays for you. And I'm also going to be doing a Valentine's Day tiered tray as well. Now, in order to do the Valentine's Day tiered tray, I'm going to need to run to Walmart and get some candy. I don't have any Valentine's Day candy. My Walmart has recently gotten in a lot of Valentine's Day decor. I don't know if your Walmart has. I know different parts of the country get things in at different times. But I thought I would take you along and we would look at all the Valentine's Day decor, and then we'll meet back here again and work on the tiered trays. So without further ado, let's go shopping. I did consider not decorating for Valentine's Day this year, and then I remembered I like pink, I like candy, and all the cute things are pulling me in. Don't get me wrong, I don't normally saturate my house with Valentine's Day decor. I just usually add touches here and there. The only exception to that is my kitchen. In my kitchen, I go way overboard, but probably because it's my favorite room of the house. Is that your favorite room? I don't know. Do you guys decorate for Valentine's Day? I'd love to know in the comments. So I checked online, and just an FYI, these lights are supposed to be red and white. I liked this pillow for $10 and I may go back for it. But I'm trying to buy more pillow covers instead of full pillows because I'm really running out of storage space for all my pillows. This rug was $13 and it was reversible, which I liked. This red tinsel garland was $3.48 and it was 8 feet long, which I thought was pretty long. I thought these mugs were super cute, and then check out these slippers. Those are really fun. When I was in the store, I was a little confused by these dinosaurs, but now that I'm reading the cup, I get it. You are terrific. All right, cute. And these big pink hearts are $10 and they're basically just a piece of styrofoam. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of them left over. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Chocolate roses. I think those are so gorgeous. Our mall growing up used to have those. Are malls even a thing anymore? I honestly don't think my son would even know what a mall is. Isn't that sad? So if you have a friend who's a girl and she's single this Valentine's Day, I think this monkey is the perfect gift. I used to work in a big city, and when I would drive home late, I had a big teddy bear buckled in the passenger seat next to me. It made me feel safer because in the dark it kind of looked like a big hairy man with me. I don't know if I was safer, but I felt safer, and part of it is a state of mind. So I come to this aisle a lot. They have the color coordinated sprinkles, and then they have all these different kinds of color coordinated candy. So they have gummies, and then I guess you call it rock candy, at least that's what we used to call it in the 80s and 90s, and then the gumballs and lollipops. And today I'm gonna grab some pink lollipops, and I did find one stuffed way in the back. I was so glad there was one left. Now I'm back home and we're gonna start working on my winter tier trays, and I'm starting with this tier tray from Hobby Lobby. And then here is the decor I'm gonna be using. Well, I'm not gonna use all of this. I'm gonna probably use most of it. And these bowls were of course redone, and the words are not relevant, but I'll just turn them in. I did purchase this Warm Winter Wishes tier tray sign from eBay recently. There are cuter ones than that on Etsy that say the same thing, but I just personally have no luck with Etsy. And then these houses were from Walmart, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And I never did bother to take the stickers off. But as you can see, they don't make these holes big enough to put tea lights in. And so I am going to use one of my little balloon lights. If you've been watching my videos, you've seen those recently, but I'm going to use them again because that's the only way you can fit a light in these little things. But first, I'm going to get the tray exactly how I want it, and then at the end, I will add the lights. I don't know if Hobby Lobby still sells this tier tray, but I will tell you if you're interested in looking for it, that one thing really challenging about this tier tray is that it's not that much taller than a normal 2-tier tray. I mean, it is taller, but it's not that much taller. So the levels or tiers are closer together, which means your items have to be pretty short. So that's something you might want to keep in mind when you're shopping for a tier tray, whether it be this one or a different one. I don't usually like a lot of gaps in my tier trays, so I usually stuff them with some kind of greenery. And then I love to use birds. I think birds can work all year long. And I don't know if you can tell quite yet, but this little bird has some like snow crystals on him, so he's definitely a winter bird. I'll try to give you a close-up of him in just a second. I don't know if you ever think about like what I was doing before I edited out the sound of a video like this. Of course, it depends. I listen to a lot of different things. Sometimes I just listen to music, but in this case, I was listening to a documentary, a true crime documentary. Now, I don't like a lot of the, I don't like any of the blood and gore, to be honest, but I like to hear like the facts and the evidence and how they arrive at the conclusion. I like solved cases. I don't like things that are, dangling out there not taken care of. I want to see the bad guy caught. Of course, growing up, I read all the Nancy Drew books. So I don't know if that's why I still like mysteries and true crime. Like maybe it kind of stuck with me. And to this day, I still have all my Nancy Drew books. I kept them from when I was a kid, and I have passed them down to my daughters to read. And fortunately for me, both of them have enjoyed Nancy Drew books. Of course, my stepdaughter is now in her 20s, so I don't think she reads Nancy Drew anymore, but I'm definitely going to ask her. And of course, now I have to ask, because I really am curious, how many of you were Nancy Drew fans or are Nancy Drew fans? I kind of feel like once you were, you always kind of are. So here is one of those balloon lights that I told you about earlier, and it's just this little round circle and they fit perfectly where a tea light should go, but they, like I say, so many times they don't make the hole big enough. I talked more about them in detail in my last 2 videos, so I don't want to bore you guys who have already seen those. So I'll just say that they are a lot cheaper than tea lights. You can find them on Amazon and I'll link them if you're interested. So I used the little wood slice under the little house to give it a little boost. How many times can I say little? So here's the finished tier tray. I like how it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm just going to turn these words in toward the middle to hide them better. And now it is officially done. Because these tiers are close together, I am not going to light that candle. I did have a lady in the comments get really upset at me one time when I did a tier tray. It was not this one. It was one that the tiers were far apart, but she was upset that I lit the candle, even though it was literally just for the video and I blew it out immediately. Of course, she didn't see me blow it out, so she would have no way of knowing that. This tray was from Michael's either 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember which. And then here are the items I'm going to be using for this tray. These came off a Christmas pick, just a pine cone and some, I guess you call them berries. And then these 2 faux potted plants came from Amazon. These ice skates were ornaments from Walmart this year. They're both right feet, but nobody's going to know, right? And then for this tray, I'm going to use my little snowbird again. I don't normally use the same things from one tray to the other when I'm doing a tier tray video for you, just because I like to make them all different with a lot of variety, but I'm going to make an exception here because I really like that snowbird. If this is your first time clicking on my channel, I'm so glad you did. I do want to take a moment and introduce myself. As I said in the beginning, my name is Rachel. I live in the woods of Wisconsin. As a matter of fact, I was born in Wisconsin. My husband and I have 2 kids that are still at home. We have a border collie shepherd, 1 indoor kitty, and 4 very spoiled outdoor cats. They have warming beds in the winter in our garage and shed. I love my cats. They are my favorite animal ever. And if I had my way, I'd bring them all in the house, but it's probably not practical. My channel is all about home decor and homemaking, so if that sounds like content that you might be interested in, I'd love to have you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. At the last second, I decided to do a little switcheroo here with the potted plants. I wanted the taller one on the top just because I thought it made a little bit more of a statement. And right here, I almost lost my bird. So fortunately, he did not go falling off. But that finishes this tray. I am going to light the candle here, but I promise it is only going to be for the video and I will blow it out right away. So don't worry, I am definitely not a firebug in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I am the complete opposite of that. I'm always the one to go around and check the house at the end of the night, lest anything accidentally be left on. So, no worries there. And then next I have this snowman themed tray that I wanted to do with you. Now some of these items are thrifted. Of course, I have my greenery here. That's not thrifted, it's just leftovers from things. I usually keep them in bags. And then I have some snowballs, this Hobby Lobby truck, and then this snowman here is a thrifted piece. He has a heavy bottom, so he stands up pretty good. And then this sign was from one of my local decor stores. And then I do have some of these snowflakes. These are a recent find from Amazon, and you can probably see that had to be repaired because it came broken in the mail. My husband was nice enough to glue it together for me. And then the lantern was thrifted. And then this snowflake with beads came off of something, I can't remember, but. And then speaking of thrifted, this mug was also thrifted. And I happened to be looking on eBay recently at snowman mugs, and I found one identical to this, and they said it was a vintage mug. I did not realize that. They claimed it was like worth 20 bucks. I think I spent maybe $1 for it. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if people really know if their things are vintage or if they just say it, because it doesn't look that old to me, but then I'm old, so who knows. These little white balls are supposed to be little snowballs, if you didn't know that, which you probably did, but I thought I would just make that clear. I didn't want you to think they were cotton balls, although you probably could use cotton balls, come to think of it. I'm trying to remember, is it 30 years is considered vintage, or is it 40 years? I mean, speaking of things, not people, because I'm definitely not vintage. I feel like it's 40 years. I don't know. Are there set rules about these things, or does it depend on, like, the item? I'm definitely going to have to Google that, because I am really curious. I always hate looking at my hands in these videos because I feel like they look so old. I wash my hands a lot, especially in the wintertime. My hands get so dry and cracked looking, so I'm a little self-conscious right now watching and editing. One thing I really love about doing winter tier trays and Christmas tier trays is that it's really easy to incorporate ornaments for your tier tray decor. And so, like, that blue snowflake was just an ornament. And then I'm going to add this candle. This was from Big Lots. I do have a couple more ornaments to add. I'm going to add this white ball, like for a snowball, a big snowball. And then I also have this cute little pair of boots. This is also an ornament, by the way. I think it was from Walmart last year. I don't remember for sure. And then I wasn't sure if this was a good idea. I've never tried it, but I decided to drape the beads over the handle on the top. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Is that a bad idea? I kind of like how the snowflake drapes down. I couldn't get the white side of the snowflake to face out, but then I decided to leave the wood look, which was the back of the snowflake, because it kind of went with the wood on the sign. And then I added that snowflake in that same wood tone there behind the truck. I think that wood tone is kind of nice because it kind of sets off from the white, if that makes sense. And then in just a moment, I am going to do my Valentine's Day tier tray for you. I'll be using my biggest, tallest tier tray for that, and one I also just painted yesterday for this purpose. So here we are with all my Valentine's Day decor, and as you can see, I did purchase the big house and the small pink house from Walmart. So everything here, with the exception of the suckers, but then you saw me buy those at Walmart earlier. Do you call them lollipops or do you call them suckers? I call them suckers. I wonder if it depends on what area of the country you're from. And then I do have just a few more things I've picked up, like I say, through the years. This looks like one of those birds at Walmart. I think that might have been something I picked up last year. And then this ladder was from Hobby Lobby. I really struggled to make that work last year on my shorter tier trays, but I think it's going to work fine on this tall one. And then of course I have this Ray Dunn truck. I have a lot of Ray Dunn pieces here, as you can see. Here is how the tier tray looked before I painted it. So I was pretty much just trying to spray paint off all the black, or as my son corrected me, spray paint over the black. My son is 11 now, so he recently had a birthday, and I have to remember that. It's just so hard to believe. That picture is thrifted. In fact, I think pretty much all the pictures I pick up are thrifted, although I do have a couple Hobby Lobby ones, but you can find them so cheap from thrift stores now. I don't know if I talked about those hearts in the shopping portion of the video, but I did show them. My original plan was to put M&Ms in that jar, but they didn't have their Valentine's Day M&Ms out yet, so that's why I went with the hearts. And looking back, I think the hearts look better, but the M&Ms would have tasted better, at least to me. I mean, these taste fine, but I just love M&Ms. I'm just going to use this pink tier tray sign as a little riser for this pink heart. And then if you've been following me, you know I do this a lot. I put some salt in the bottom of this little creamer, and I'm going to use the salt to help hold up these little suckers or lollipops. You know, it just occurred to me, if I were going to guess, I bet that lollipops are flat and suckers are round. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to Google it and find out later, but that's what makes sense to me. I decided to make room for the bird on the bottom tier instead of the middle, and I think I like how that turned out the best. And then I'm just going to add this rolling pin and a few more hearts to the situation. And then I'm going to light up my houses with a few more of those balloon lights. And I also thought, since I had a few extra balloon lights, I'm just going to kind of drop those here and there on the tray. And I don't know, let me know what you think of it. I am going to give you a quick view of the back of the tray, which isn't obviously as pretty as the front of the tray, but it's not bad. And I do like the lights. I just think lights always add so much dimension. In literally 7 seconds, I'm going to tell you what I have planned for upcoming videos, so I hope you'll stick around. Before you go, would you like this video? I know I always ask that, but help a girl out. It's a small channel and all these little things help my videos and my channel get seen by the algorithm. Leave a comment. I think that's even better. So thank you though for all your support on my channel. It means so much to me, you can't even imagine. I do have a winter kitchen and coffee bar video coming really soon. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, if you are interested in more winter tier tray decor inspiration, I did do a winter tier tray video last year, so I will link that for you. Sorry, I'm all of a sudden losing my voice. In the description box, and hopefully I'll have a card for you, assuming it works. Sometimes there's a glitch. But anyway, I have my winter tier tray video from last year, so go ahead and check that out. That's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, stay thankful.